David Lynn, and you are with me for a Saturday edition of Coffee Talk, number 492. It is the 16th of August, 2025, and you are here with me live. Well, Uncle Al, he's always saying, no dead air time. Don't stare. Don't breathe. He's always giving me advice about what to do or what not to do when I'm doing a live stream. And I mean, I laugh. It's probably pretty good advice, but I mean, it's, we're talking me here, me. So hard for me not to stutter occasionally, have a senior moment, have a little dead air time. Do you need some medication? I took my medication already. So, it is what it is, and here we are. Uncle Al, die Bullfrog 79, how are you doing, sir? Your ears should be ringing. So I managed to get my video from the 2,000 subscriber giveaway that was like years ago. Well, not really. It was a couple of weeks, I think, ago. I got the video done. I got the box loaded. It's in the mail, and Uncle Al should be receiving his box Thursday. Be looking for it Thursday-ish. I sent him tracking information and that information. And then he says he's preparing retaliation. So, no, don't have to do that. Holly Ivins, how are you doing, Holly? How is your husband, young lady? I hope he's doing well. And I would ask everybody to be in prayer for Rachel, the mom of four. She's been, they're having a little difficulty with their oldest son. And I tried to, we visited a little bit, text back and forth about the situation, and I tried to give her what I felt would be grounded opinions of, what's going on, and, priorities, and how what you have to look to. 5 watching and 6 likes, okay. Well, I've identified 2 of y'all. It's Bullfrog 79, Uncle Al, and Holly Ivins. Who else? Hello, Melinda. You've been lurking for a few minutes? Ah, Lord. Susanna Morrison, proud single mother. Another friend who is experiencing Sunday morning right now. She's over in the Philippines, and in the Philippines right now it is about 8 o'clock Sunday morning. Pre-retirement, how are you doing? Pre-retirement days, Betty. You keep coming into my live streams regularly, and you're going to wind up getting me sending you a package. Oh, Lord. Don't show them your bald spot. It's all bald. My head, I'm looking down at my paper, and I make fun of myself all the time. I laugh. It's just how I am. Apparently buying space. I think might be doing unboxing or a video, unboxing video uploaded. Four in the house and 6 likes. Well, I received an element. I received an envelope. So I will be doing an unenveloping in a few minutes. Had a envelope come in from Amazon, and I will be doing an unenveloping. No dead air time. Well, it is what it is, Uncle Al. There is dead air. Now, I guess, I have a interesting background at one time, way back in the late 70s. Had a FCC third class license, which would allow me to be on the AM radio, which was fairly popular back then. And they would always get upset if there was dead air time. And there would be a fine for any sort of extended dead air time. You could get fined for that. And it is what it is, but that's how things are. So I've got some stuff to load up. I've got some shorts to load up. I could load up several shorts of various things. I went shopping today. I bought gas. I did a pumping gas one. I did an Audi one. I did one where it was raining. I've done some food ones. Yoda, my friend. Dave, how you doing? I am falling down in my obligations to my channel, I guess I'd say. I am sitting at 2023. I let it be known. Did the dinner bell just ring? Sorry, I am late. I'm trying to balance life at work, which is my income, in addition to my retirement. I have to prioritize my job over my fun, which YouTube is my fun, it's my hobby. Little Lone Prepper, how are you doing? Thank you for coming, Barbara. I have to take that into consideration. So we have 7 in the house and 8 likes. Let me do this. So this came in from Amazon. I order and I opened it to see, and I know what was in it. This is a black mouse pad. I'm gonna put it in my new room for my notebook computer. It came in $3 and something I paid for it. This is made in China. Mouse pad gaming. Well, it's not going to be for gaming, but it'll be for my mouse. Well, I hope you don't have to do that. Where are you at on your channel right now, Dave? Are you past 16,000? Here I am. I'm sort of real pumped up about the fact that I got 2,000 subscribers. I'm past 2,000 subscribers. And Dave is over there, just dwarfing me with way over what I have. And, a year ago, not even a year ago, I had more subscribers than he did. So his channel just basically blew up like 6 months ago. His channel just blew. He changed his content a little bit. He was doing mainly, he did a lot of cards, baseball cards, different types of cards, card collecting. And should hit 16K tonight or tomorrow, probably. Well, God bless you, Dave. I'm happy for you. So, Just as a little forerunner, tonight's topic is current events dealing with the Texas part of the border wall. That's one of the things we'll talk about, is a little update on how things are going and where we're at on the border wall, how we got to where we are, where we're at on the border wall. And just, just how did things get so screwed up? Well, it wasn't easy. It took Joe Biden. It took Joe Biden and Biden's administration to really. That was, that was intent right there. But I'll say I'll let y'all talk about that. 7 watching and 10 likes. Yeah, Dave. I don't know, Dave. This is just an opinion. I think I would, you talk about your channel and renaming your channel and what all, or you can change your channel name a little bit and you won't lose your subscribers. I think I would call it Dave's Blessed Life. I can, I have a hard time, jokingly, referring to you as Yoda. So I think I would say, if you ever decide to rebrand your name, I would say Dave's Blessed Life. And that's just, your friend, the other Dave, just telling you, I'd go with my Christian name, or David's Blessed Life, whatever you want to. Well, right before I went on, I took a shower, and I'm still a little sweaty, but you feel good taking a hot shower. Took a hot shower to get cleaned up, and earlier I went shopping for groceries, went and filled the tanks up on the vehicles. Oh, you get to witness to your friends in card community. Okay. So we've had Uncle Al and Holly Ivan and Melinda Elliott and Susanna Morrison, proud single mom, pre-retirement days, Betty, Yoda's Blessed Life, Dave, and Little Lone Prepper Barbara in so far. They've identified themselves. I got a few other people lurking. Yesterday I had 17 or 18 people identified themselves, during the course of my live stream. It had 51 views, so there were a lot of lurkers out there, or people passing through decide not to say hello. Hello, Julie West. How are you doing? And I did post, but I did not link my post to anybody, but I did post about today's video or live stream. I did post about today's live stream. I just didn't, I did not do a short on it, but I did post on it, and I put a couple of pictures in with it. So I think basically at this point where I'm at is I will probably do my live streams this on the weekends. I'll try to do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so I'll try to do another live stream tomorrow. But during the week right now, because of work and what's going on and the inability to basically prep notes and, put forth a decent effort, I'm not going to do any live streams during the week. But I'll still try to do 1 or 2 or 3 shorts during the day, and most of that will probably be food related. KP Heathen, the OJ man, how you doing? I just left a comment on your OJ post. OJ is good stuff. Good stuff, good stuff. Really like it. So again, today's topic, and we'll start getting into it. I did I had an envelope from Amazon, a computer mouse pad. They say this is a gaming pad. I just basically got it for my mouse because for my notebook computer at work. So you just got off work. Well, God bless you, son. I'm glad you're safe and probably need to go home and take a shower. You just got home and, drink yourself something cold and get ready. But for another day tomorrow. And that's just the way things are. It's the grind. We work and we eat and we sleep and we do whatever we do, and then we go back the next day and we do it again. Or a version of it. 7 watching, 12 likes. So, current events dealing with the Texas part of the border wall. It's about time for me to get into that. Return of the parts of the border wall confiscated by the Biden administration. Both Trump and Abbott went after bureaucrats involved in the scrapping of the wall. Towards the end of Trump's administration, they had allocated and they had companies that were actively constructing wall, and they had purchased materials, supplies, rented heavy equipment, what they needed to do to construct, and they had several hundred miles worth of wall construction scheduled and paid for. And then when the Biden administration came in, he did an executive, I guess he used his auto pen or whatever, but or somebody used an auto pen, but he did an executive order basically halting construction of the wall, and then they were trying to sell off and get rid of materials that were paid for, that were dedicated to the construction of the wall. Equipment was, there was equipment dedicated to construction of the wall, and all that stuff was idled. Employees and workers, they basically, they weren't allowed to continue the construction. I mean, they could have built several hundred miles of more wall, but they weren't allowed to. And then there was a point, and this is off my notes, but this is stuff that I remember because I've read about it and I know it's true to fact. The state of Texas, being conservative and being upset, they committed and they voted billions of dollars to secure the border and to deploy guard and to, Department of Public Safety and various trying to reinforce, laying Constantina wire, and they actually started building wall. They acquired materials that they were trying to auction off, and they bought materials, and they were letting this stuff go very cheap. They acquired materials, and they were using these materials to continue construction along the wall. When the Biden administration found out that this is what the state of Texas was doing, they went into a panic and they freaked out, and they did what they could to stop it. They wanted to stop construction. So the state had to basically, and they were building on state-owned lands or getting easements for construction along the border. So they did start back, and they had been building wall. They had been building wall. Mr. Whistle, how are you doing, Mr. Whistle? Thank you for coming. Please leave a like to support the channel. So the money was never returned. The money that was allocated, that had been voted by Congress, that the previous administration It was never returned to federal funds, and the parts never been scrapped, abandoned on Bureau of Land Management land. And you can look at some of the Fox News, CNN, MSNBC. You can look at some of the stuff that they put out about it. So Texas right now is building a supermax detention facility near the border, and it will be for illegal aliens and for criminals. You've heard about the facility that they call it Alligator Alcatraz, that was built in Florida. The communists, liberals, socialists, whatever you want to call them, Democrats, they're freaking out over that, and they are bringing in, and their Congress, the Democratic Congress people are trying to, hey, you can't do that. That's my I represent that person, and they're freaking out about it. Well, Beto O'Rourke, remember Beto? He Robert O'Rourke. He married into a very, very wealthy family. Married to a very, very wealthy, well-to-do family. And he's run for various offices. He ran for Senate. He ran for governor. He's run for different offices. And did not get elected. He's come close, within a few points. Well, they're being investigated for funding certain things, that BS where the state representatives disappeared, went to California, went to Chicago, Illinois. They went to various places. And, they put out warrants for them. And now they're investigating. Now there's an investigation underway. See, about possibly charges for, interfering with, interference and such. 10 watching, 13 likes. Thank you. So the state and the federal authorities are investigating. Are there ties to foreign governments? Certain high-tech companies that may be up to no good. They're looking into it. In his actions of the border wall and illegal immigration and hiring paid protesters. You got some of these mercenary protesters. You'd get a busload of protesters showing up, and then you'd have a couple of vans or SUVs or whatever pulling up and opening the rear, and all of a sudden all this, various stuff comes out. Signs, banners, baseball bats, bricks, chunks of concrete, body armor, face masks. That's been going on for years, this protest. They'll show up, different places. It's like somebody's deploying them. Family ties. Yes, Uncle Al. Charges against the state of Texas. Well, they're being investigated by Texas and by the federal government. Beto O'Rourke may be in some difficulty with the government. It's like you got a mess going on in D.C. right now. Trump got the 7-day action on D.C. police. So you have about 120 FBI field agents that have been deployed to the neighborhoods, to the areas. 800 National Guard troops activated that are deployed and that are there. You've got the DC police under the AG's office, Attorney General's office. They're involved, the leadership, so that, hey, you will arrest these people, and hey, we will prosecute these people. They're trying to clean up the place. They're trying to get the homeless. They got, like, I think they said something like 6,000 homeless in DC that are just basically making the place a S-hole, as Uncle Donald Trump would say. And there's stuff going on there. So criminals are being arrested, and they will be prosecuted. They're rounding up illegals. There are illegals in Washington, D.C., and they've been rounding up illegals, too. They've been rounding up criminals. And they've been rounding up the homeless. They're either going to go into some sort of rehab or they're going to go to jail. But they want to try to clean them up. Most of these homeless people are they got mental issues. A lot of them are involved with drugs. They're doing things that basically will kill them, way sooner than they would die of old age. And Congress approved a 30-day period and may approve the extension. Technically, the District of Columbia originally was intended to be under Congress. Congress would control the District of Columbia. And they've allowed what they call home rule. So they have an elected council, they've got an elected mayor. There are no level-headed conservatives involved in this. Like what all's going on out in California and Los Angeles. They have 50 some odd, their city council, it's like 50 some odd, elected representatives. None of them are Republican. They're all, Democrat, socialist, or whatever you want to call them. Why do you think things are run so poorly? The adults are not in the room out there. I'm telling you truthfully. It's a bad situation. It's a bad situation. Yeah, and then a lot of them are fleeing to Maryland and fleeing to Virginia. Both of those states are run by Democrats. The District of Columbia originally, when it was laid aside and when they laid out the plat for it and everything, it was 10 miles by 10 miles or 100 square miles. The District of D.C., the District of Columbia, was originally going to be, it was basically laid out as 10 miles by 10 miles, which was 100 square miles. And originally it was the occupied portion of it, which it's grown up, it's all developed now, pretty much developed. A lot of it's slum. But, the historic portions where they built all the stuff that's government related, it's nice. That part of the city is very nice, and they keep it up. But then there are other parts that basically could be described as slums, and they say they're going to tear all that stuff down and clean it out. The Democrats have been talking about they want to make D.C. a state. Now, can you imagine a place that's 10 miles by 10 miles, or 100 square miles? Something about the size of my where I live. I can go from one side of my small city to the other side. It's about 10 miles. It's about a 15-minute drive because you're limited to about 40, 45 miles an hour. But I can go from one side to the other We got a city council, we got a mayor. It's sort of like, up in Greenland. They want to take Greenland. Well, Greenland's got a prime minister, and Greenland's got a parliament. Well, Greenland has a population smaller than where I live. Their population's like 50 some odd, like 60-ish thousand. That's the entirety of Greenland's population. So when they start talking parliament and prime minister, think more city council and mayor. Because there might be a lot of space up there, but it's all unoccupied. It's all pretty much unoccupied, and then it's got a couple of small settlements. I mean, their main settlement up there has a population of maybe 25, 30,000. So, we're not talking when they start spouting some of their BS. Yes, I can. And it is the district is federal jurisdiction. Should be under the federal government. I'd clean it out. They've got a observer. Not really an elected. They can't vote, but they've got an observer in Congress. That sort of like looks after the interests of the district. The Democrats would like to make it a state so they can have 2 senators and 1 representative. They'd like to make, there's several places that they'd like to incorporate and to make states. They would like to do that with Puerto Rico. And a small majority of the population would probably like to become a state. They do get to vote in our elections. They get to vote in the presidential election, but they do not have any representatives. They do not have any senators. But, that's Puerto Rico. And if I was going to do that, I'd make Guam a state. I'd take care of their BS, because Guam's very conservative, and they'd have 2 more Republican senators and 1 more Republican representative. Can make Guam a state. That'd take care of that mess. You want to start play? You want to play? That'd take care of some of that mess. So, NGOs, groups, and paid protesters are being arrested and investigated for crimes in D.C. and the Texas border walls. Black Lives Matter. Antifa. They call themselves anti-fascist. Trust me, they're about as fascist you can get. Antifa. Those are thugs. What they do, the trouble that they have caused, the destruction that the money, the insurance companies have had to put out, which basically affects everybody's insurance rates. All the crap that they have done, and they've been allowed to do this in blue cities. Occasionally they try to pull something other where conservatives are running things, and they get dealt with quite harshly, and they get put down in a hurry. And they always wear masks, and whenever they pull their masks off, they're always white people that are in their mid-30s, mid-40s. They look like hell. They look like they should be on some sort of mental drugs for mental illness. They all look constipated. And and that's what these people. These are the ones that are. They're predominantly, as far as the Antifa, they're predominantly white. A lot of them have college educations. A lot of them have jobs. Some of them have had jobs working in the government. They don't. Generally, they have to let them go when they get caught doing something other. They get arrested for something other like that. They generally quietly have to, get rid of them. Joseph Moore, how's it going, Joseph? Thank you for stopping by. I hope things are going well in the Moore household. There was a football scrimmage. I guess it's getting close to football season. There'll be another scrimmage next week. I had a football scrimmage Thursday, varsity and JV. There are people that is what they live for. That's what they live for. Nine in the house, 15 likes. Oh, sounds wonderful. Smoked tenderloin. I did, basically what I did was I took a package of stew meat and some baby potatoes, and I put them in the crock pot, and I cooked them for 6 hours. And then I made my wife rice. I ate potatoes with mine, and my wife rice, and then I put the stew meat over it. So I ate mine. I did a short, and I'll try to upload it. I ate mine with some baby potatoes, ketchup. I drank some mineral water. Hillbilly Josh Loftus, how you doing, sir? Hillbilly is my last thing I remember is he is at around 1,850. He's moving on 2,000 subscribers. He'll probably pass me inside the next month or so. He'll be past me. His channel is growing like a weed, and he is a hardworking man. Not saying that everybody here isn't hardworking, but I'm saying he is working in the oil industry, and that pays well, but that's tough work. You got to be in good shape doing that. Just remember, save money. Try to save money. Set money back. Eight in the house, 16 likes. Pork steak. Woo, good stuff. I like to do pork ribs. I will doctor them up, put some slap your mama on them, such. 400 degrees, an hour and a half. Put them and bake them. 400 degrees, an hour and a half. Oh, God almighty, it tastes a little salt and pepper. Good stuff. Really good stuff. I love it. So that is basically having chili. Uncle Al's having chili. I did get another mail call. And Betty's not, I don't think Betty's on tonight here, but this is what you would call a box. Oh! Moors! This is a case. This is a case of 24 modular operational ration enhancements. Hot weather. Moors. These are Moors. And I've done videos of Moors before, and I have unpacked Moors, and I've got Moors. I've got more Moors than you can, but these would go along as supplements. These are supplements to your meals ready to eat. They would give a soldier, usually would give a soldier 3 meals ready to eat when they're out in the field and there's not a field kitchen available. They'd give them 3. Take care, Josh. Thanks for stopping by. They would give them 3 meals ready to eat, and there are 24 different menus. The main, the 24 different mains, 24 different menus, and then they would give them a more, and that would be for a 24-hour period. 3 of those, and then the more is basically extras, different types of extras. And just to go over, let me because I pretty much covered the notes for this evening. So here we have a more. And I'm going to just go through this one again. And I'll probably be sending some of this stuff out to people. So this one is a pack 3. Type 1 high altitude. Oh, this is a cold weather. Wow, okay. This didn't come out of that case. That other case was a hot weather. This is cold weather. So this one comes from the Warnick Company. This one has crackers, fortified plain, spread soup mix, applesauce, carb sweetened, baked crackers, cheddar, first strike bar, mini mocha, and beverage carb fortified. Let's open this one up and see exactly what's in it. All right, David, use some force. The more bag. So this one applesauce fortified, this is the 152nd day of 22. It's about 3 years old. This more is about 3 years old. Your sauce. So basically what you would do, it's applesauce, 160 calories. You tear this off and you suck from it. You just roll it up as you suck from it. You don't have to put it in a cup or anything. Crackers. It's got crackers. Cheddar, potato, bacon spread, soup mix. 1.5 ounces. You put this on your crackers. A mocha first strike bar. Baked snack crackers, 240 calories. From the 146th day of 22. And this is a beverage. This one, and you can drink this from the bag. You put for use tear pouch at the top and fill to the notch, 12 ounces of cold water. Shake it up. They want you to use chemically purified water. This is a lemon lime beverage based powder. And it will have 180 calories. So there's a lot of sugar in this. This one will have a lot of sugar. You get a lot of calories from this. A lot of extra calories. And this is your more. This is what's in your more. And I have sent some of these out to folks. And like I said, there was a Mocha First Strike Mocha energy bar. This is a small one. And like I said, these are extras types things, like in between meals. 1.2 ounces. 1.2 ounces, made in San Antonio, Texas. And this is from the 109th day of 22. And this is just one version of, this is a cold weather. These are things for cold weather. It's just one of the mores. Anybody else come in when I was going through this? Uncle Al is giving advice on cooking. He is an excellent cook. Making jalapeno cheese spread using 2 biscuit dough with shredded cheese and sliced jalapeno peppers. I just bought some new jalapeno peppers. I usually cut one of them up when I'll cut one of them up when I make tacos, or I make breakfast for my wife. I usually make a taco for myself. I'll use a low-carb tortilla, 70 calories. Take care, Joseph. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it, my friend. Keep the faith. I will be back tomorrow, Joseph. So that was pack 3. And I've got the other 2 versions. I'll go over them, what's in them. That was a case I just got in of the hot Moors, summertime Moors. But you can eat them during wintertime. They're just more hot weather type stuff. It is what it is. So that was basically the topic that we had talked about tonight. We talked about current events dealing with the Texas part of the border wall and what's going on out in Washington, D.C. in the east. Right, I believe the president had a little mini summit. He met Putin in Anchorage, Alaska. Putin flew in. They had a meeting. He's trying to stop the fighting in Ukraine. Zelensky was not there. He was not invited. And he's trying to stop it. There's talk that if Trump is able to stop the fighting in Ukraine and make peace, that he'll get the Nobel Peace Prize. Listen, when Obama was elected president, they gave him the Nobel Peace Prize for basically getting elected president. They anointed him with the Nobel Peace Prize, and he hadn't done a damn thing. And I tell you, take care, Julianne West. It's very late. Julianne is over in the UK. She's over near Cardiff, in Wales. And it's very late. It's probably 1 o'clock in the morning where she's at. So I do appreciate you stopping by. I will try to return the favor on some of your shorts or some of your shorter videos. She doesn't really do shorts. She does short videos, And I'll try to give you some watch time. I will be back tomorrow. And try to do another live stream. It'll either be open comment type thing, or maybe Uncle Al will give me some more, material to do. Went to the bank today. I went and got a couple of rolls of quarters for my wife. She said, I'm out of quarters. Got her a couple more rolls of quarters. Got a bunch of ones. I always try to carry at least 20 ones on me. And I'll always have 3 or 4 quarters in my wallet. And I'll have a little, ones. And I'll have a couple of larger bills, but usually ones. I went and bought gas. I use my debit card. I buy gas. And 1:48 a.m. in the UK. Or at almost 2 o'clock in the morning for her. Take care, my friend. I appreciate you. Very nice lady. Very nice lady. Her mother's having some health issues. Pray for her mother. You know, there's so many nice people in this world. Then we have to worry about things that are not nice. You know, it's just, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, it has been a long day, Saturday. I'm tired. I will plan on doing another live stream tomorrow. I appreciate y'all coming back in. I've got I loaded Uncle Al's video, which is about 10 minutes. He won the 2,000 subscriber. I loaded it on private on my backup channel. Now I need to load it up on my main channel, and I need to do some content work, description work and such, and then I will release it. I hope to get that done tomorrow, so I will have released it. He will get his box, and I videoed what was in the box and everything. He'll get his box probably Thursday. And then I've got to do an unboxing. Dave, my friend Yoda, David, he sent me a box here probably close to a month ago. I want to do a video unboxing of those. He sent me like 20 different 2-ounce sample hot sauces. So it'll be interesting working my way through those, but that'll take me forever because I use a little bit of hot sauce, but I mean, I don't use that much. So the way I do with tacos and various things, I went and got my wife, because I didn't cook lunch. I made breakfast and I didn't do lunch, but I got my wife some tacos and taco supremes from Taco Bell, and I got myself 3 bean burritos. I said no red sauce, and then I used chipotle sauce on them. So I ate that. Now that'll be a short. I'll put that up as a short. And you know. So anyway, you know, I'm tired. It's been a day. I'm gonna be a little short of 1 hour on this one. I'm at 53 minutes right now. When I get up in the morning, I thank God for the day. I take my medication. I drink my coffee. I try to get right. And you never know how many days you have. You may not wake up. Next thing you know, it's Judgment Day and you're standing before the Lord. But everybody, please. Hello, JC. Thanks for stopping by. You're basically coming in towards the end of my live stream. I do appreciate you coming in. Have a blessed day. I will be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time for another edition of Coffee Talk. And I think this was a really nice one. I enjoyed it. Everybody, please have a blessed day. You can always watch the rerun, JC. It'll be loading up as a rerun. And everybody have a blessed day, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for another edition of Coffee Talk. I really enjoyed this one. Thank you so much. Everybody, just, you know, take care, and we'll hopefully see you again on Sunday. Bye-bye.